Hi everyone, welcome to dmetalgalaxy YouTube channel, where we bring reviews, interviews and dmetalgalaxy news into your living room. For those who already have been following us, know that we had a program, Heavy Goes On and On, where we did album reviews and interviews on recently albums, and on top of this program we had a bonus interview with one of the big four, Kreator from Tankard. And for those who are not familiar with the big four of Germany, the Teutonic Metal Scene, well, it's basically Kreator, Tankard, Sodom and Destruction, who basically shaped the German thrash metal. And in this review and interview that we did before, we talked with Kreator about the Tankard re-release called 40,000 Beer Box, which included all the music recorded during the noise record period and entitling the following albums: Zombie Attack, Chemical Invasion, The Morning After, The Meaning of Life, Stone Cold Sobe, Two-Face, The Tankard, Fat, Ugly and Life. And it was in honors of their 40 years of celebration. And after this interview, I'm doing this review and I will talk about the image, the lyrics, music, artwork, and in the end, a summary. The image. Tankard is all about beer. Well, the name says it all. Tankard is a cup where you drink beer from it. And the funny part is, when we talked with Kreator about the image, he admitted he's not a big beer lover. Despite this, I think it very fits with the band, the music and the lyrics, which I will talk on later on. And it gives also a light tone, which compares to Destruction, who is the mud butcher holding a knife as their core image. Apart from this, the beer makes it very easy to remember Tankard, because every time you are having a beer, you're just thinking about space beer and having a good crack. As a result, the image of Tankard is imprinted in your memory and what the band is all about. Let's now talk about the lyrics. The lyrics are split in two parts. You have the serious stuff and the fictional event. For example, Shitfaced is one that's based on real events, but it's quite funny. And it's about the time that Tankard booked a hotel room and they were a bit wild and they just destroyed the whole hotel room and were kicked afterwards. And they wrote another song, Space Beer, which is about the German beer, Space Beer, which back in the time you could buy it. And they just wrote down their thoughts as teenagers. So both songs just describe events that happened in their own life. And interestingly enough, when we discussed these two lyrics with Kreator himself, he said that they are not teenagers anymore and this stuff happened 40 years ago and they just don't have the fantasy to write stuff like your dick will grow in size. I believe this is a great thing and why the lyrics of Tankard are so unique. You can listen to all albums and just discover something new, something interesting, because the band evolves over time. So every album is about a different life phase of them. And all the stuff is fun. It keeps like a dynamic. This element makes them also to stand out of their brothers as extreme metals, as I haven't heard any band that is so much fun as Tankard. Although there are some serious lyrics as well. Tankard writes some serious lyrics, and one example is Meaning of a Life. However, this song has a sarcastic undertone, and it's quite a lot of fun. And this is a bit different if you compare it to Kreator, which is straight to the face with pleasure to kill. However, I think that Tankard is doing a great job of sending the message across, as the lighter undertone makes the message sticks very well. And it's also a great interchange that they have the fun stuff, the serious stuff, and it makes it much easier to just think about the heavy stuff you just heard, just relax a bit with the fun song and go back to serious stuff. And apart from the funk element, it makes the band not entirely a parody metal band, keeps them into thrash metal genre. The music, according to Tankard is the lightest one of the brothers. And interestingly enough, their first album, Zombie Attack, had even punk elements. I take Gary's words on the punk one, as I'm not a frequent punk listener. I do listen to girl school, but it's not enough to say that I recognize the style. But I agree on that it's the lightest one from all brothers, because I grew up with Kreator and later on Destruction, and their music has much more heavier riffs, much more heavier instrumental shred, and so on. And also, if you compare all the singers with each other, Petroza, Smear, and Gara, they have both a very different singing style, and especially Gara is the lighter one from all of them. I really enjoyed this approach as the lighter elements, especially for all the productions. Tankard is the one that has really crystal clear voice and very easy to follow the lyrics alone. Despite the lighter tones, Tankard is pure thrash. It's just a bit different music-wise than their brothers. So the last topic, the artwork. I love the beer box ID. It grabs your attention immediately. And when I saw the artwork, I was like, whoa, who on earth sells an album in a beer box? What's more, it's something I haven't seen before or even thought about, making music and just sell it in a beer box. But then thinking and discussing during this review, I'm like, whoa, this is a great idea. After all, what better way to represent a band about beer with a beer box? In summary, Tankard is basically a beer band and offers you a great crack with a lighter tone in the lyrics and music. It's band definitely worthwhile check out, as they are the band who stand out in the big four and who doesn't want to have a beer box on their shelf. Tankard might be the smallest one of the big four, where there's no one who can make you laugh as Tankard can. So I hope you enjoyed this review. If you want your own beer box, just click on the link below and also subscribe, as we have more news from the Metal Galaxy. Bye. See you soon.